Well everyone, welcome back to another LG TurboWash front load washer full cycle demonstration video. Today we're going to be doing the Sanitary cycle because that is the one I've received the most requests for recently. I've received requests for numerous cycles, but this seems to be the most prominent one as of right now. So that's what we're going to do today. I just have a load of towels in here, very similar to the loads of towels I've done in the past. In fact, I think it might actually be like the exact same load. Detergent's in there as usual, softener's in there. I'm not doing a whole lot of detergent because it's a smaller load, and I mean we are going to be sanitizing it, so you know they're gonna get clean kind of from that. For the sake of time and save space on the video, and for just making it more interesting, I'm going to be doing TurboWash on this, though that is not the default option as you can see. Let's get it going. We're gonna begin the sensing routine. As you see here, the default cycle temperature, or the default wash temperature is extra hot. We're going to be running the high spin speed for the final spin, and we're doing a normal soil, which is kind of surprising. Usually on Sanitary, they do the heaviest soil option available. That's at least what I've seen in pretty much every washer that I've worked with in the past from my memory here. But it's interesting. We'll see how it goes. I'll put the camera down once it's done with the sensing routine so I can show you guys the estimated cycle time. We're going to be doing the same setup with the light, with the ring light, because that worked really well with the white cycle, which may or may not come out before this. I'm going to guess probably not, just due to this being in demand. An hour and 33 minutes. So believe it or not, the Sanitary cycle is going to be taking less time than the heavy duty cycle. I don't understand that any more than you do. And yes, I am including baking soda in this load as well, just like I always do, but especially with towels, I think it's kind of good because, with all the water and soap and whatnot, it's just good to kind of deodorize them because they can kind of get that musty smell after a while, depending on how long they've been without a wash. I wash these towels every other week. I have an identical set that I rotate around, so these really only been used for about a week. But even though I keep up with it, I do the baking soda just to have it as like a safe measure. And I mean, I'm doing it in the back, or I put it in on the back so you couldn't really see it in the front like you would on other cycles, where I put it in the front. You can sort of see it on the top there, like up there. Alright, so we got the TurboWash going. We're not doing the 6 motion or any of the special wash motions yet, though, which is interesting. Wonder how that's going to fare with this. Just a fair warning, steaming might be an issue here. It probably is going to be, considering this is the extra hot wash temperature. And that does mean that we are going to be using the washer's built-in heater, so the water is going to be, well, extra hot. But that's another reason why I wanted to equip the TurboWash, because I hope anyway that it might help with the glass fogging up. It may not though, because LG does a great job of not getting the TurboWash on the glass and getting it straight on the load, which for the purpose of the actual cleaning is great, but not so much for what I'm trying to do the video. Like, I can already kind of see that we're steaming up here up top. It still looks like it's slightly manageable and like easier to see on the bottom there. But yeah. Anyway, I'm surprised that this thing is shorter than the heavy duty cycle. Granted, this is a slightly smaller load, but still. I just wonder if we're gonna have a 20-minute long spin, the final spin like we had before. That'll be interesting. For the sake of not sounding like a broken record, I'm not sure how much talking I'm gonna do in this video. And also just because the wash is probably gonna get repetitive, so I'm probably gonna end up speeding up most of it. Just so you all know. But I somehow doubt you guys would want to sit here for an hour and 30 minutes watching it do essentially the same thing anyway. The dryer is running in the background, so you'll be hearing that. It's got an estimated 46 minutes left on its cycle. And I am running it with a steam cycle, not one of like the steam specialty cycles like Steam Sanitary or Steam Fresh, I'm running it right now on heavy duty with the turbo steam option. So like near the end of the cycle, you're going to hear like this hissing sound, which is the steam going on to, I believe, not only sanitize the clothes maybe a little bit, but also to help with de-wrinkling and reducing static. Although there is the reduced static option, I find that the turbo steam actually is just as effective at reducing static and does not leave the clothes wet. I had a little bit of bad luck with that, with the reduced static option, because it does the steam so close to the end of the cycle that the water doesn't really get to dry. So, yeah. Anyway, onto the sanitary cycle and washer here. I'm surprised there was no like scrub or stepping or anything like that like they usually does at the start of the wash. Weird. I don't know if this is the first or second time I've ran the sanitary cycle. Probably the second, but I didn't watch the first one, so first go through for both of us. That's the hissing I was talking about for the dryer with its steam. There's 18 minutes left on the cycle, and it's going to be doing this multiple times. I believe it does it 3 to 4 times depending on the cycle, but don't quote me on that. But this allows it to still fully dry the clothes while reaping all the benefits of the steam. As you see right now, the heater just turned on. You heard the gas fire up. So yeah. And we also heard the washer water turn on for a little bit there. My guess is that it was filling up with more hot water because with the heater going on, some of it is inevitably going to evaporate, but it still needs that, still needs to maintain a certain water level. Though you cannot see any water from the bottom of this. So it's got very little water in there. That's probably also why the turbo wash is only occurring in very short bursts. Dryer's done. You can kind of see the water level down there now, though barely. Yeah, not really. But pay attention after this tumbling is done. You might be able to hear a slight hissing from the washer. After this tumble, I'm going to put you guys down the bottom there. See if you can hear it then. Because I'm pretty sure that's where the heater is. It might even be easier to hear it. Well, actually, no, you're not really going to be able to hear it from the back. I don't think. And that's going to be hard for me to reach anyway right now. But that hissing is the heater heating up the water. You can also hear it whenever you do a steam cycle. Though I think it is slightly louder when it's doing a steam cycle because it's not just trying to heat up the water, it's trying to evaporate it, which requires a lot more heat, obviously. Now you can see the water level, where those bubbles are. So right now it's filling through the bleach compartment. We're at 37 minutes remaining and still in the wash phase. From my understanding, LG washers do it, dispense the bleach, that is, at the end of the wash stage. Some washers, like the Flex Wash, would dispense it in the first rinse. But by default, the machine would do 2 rinses per cycle, where this one does 1 by default. On most cycles, anyway. At least every one that I've seen. And then, for the rare cases of a single rinse on the Flex Wash, from what I remember anyway, it would dispense the bleach and the softener at the same time, which I never quite understood, but that's just how I recall it being done. If anyone knows the reasoning behind why some washers do that, because I'm sure the Flex Wash isn't the only one, please feel free to enlighten us in the comments. So the dryer did not completely dry one of the items I had in here, and I'm assuming this is because of the steam, though I don't know for sure, because it's literally like drenched in one spot. And it looks like the little steam nozzle is leaking like a couple drops of water right now. So my guess is that it's just been dripping on the clothes in this one spot. That sometimes happens with this. Doesn't happen often, but it looks like it's happening right now. So that's a little odd and unfortunate, but nothing a quick dry shouldn't be able to fix. Let's see. Put it to 20 minutes. That should be fine. You can kind of see the moisture like I was talking about right there. You see there's a little droplet dripping down. So that's what we're gonna try to put it on for a little bit longer for. Hopefully it'll not only dry the clothes in that time, but also the water from that little steam nozzle in the back. Looks like we're doing another bleach fill? Interesting. As you see, the water level is more visible now. In fact, it's actually continuing to increase here. To an astonishing degree, my goodness. Look at that. That's covering like the entire panel there. That must be filling up with more than just the bleach nozzle, like, my goodness. That's a lot of water. No wonder this thing doesn't take a while to fill. Oh! We're on the rinse stage now, but it didn't drain. There's 32 minutes left. That is so odd. Wonder why it didn't drain. What the hell? Why is it filling with this much water? Why is it filling with this much water? Holy crap! Is this normal? I mean, it must have been done like filling, otherwise it would. I think it would have continued when I pressed continue. No. What the heck? How is this the rinse? Okay, now we're draining. Yeah, what the hell was that? Why was it filling like that? Like, there's no way that that was the amount of water that it was supposed to fill up with. I wish I didn't pause that now because I wanted to see, because I wonder if that was like actually how much water that was supposed to be in there. But like I said, I'm pretty sure I've ran the sanitary cycle before and it's finished no problem, so Maybe that's what it was. It was just supposed to be like that. I mean, who knows? I could have stopped it at the perfect time. I just could have paused it right when it was about to stop anyway. Yeah, that makes sense, because I've paused this machine before mid-cycle if I forget to add something. So like at the beginning of the wash, like it'll be filling, I pause it, I throw the item in, and then it resumes filling after I resume the cycle. So if that wasn't done filling, it probably would have just resumed, but man, that was a lot of water. And you know, I thought the TurboWash would make that a little more interesting, but it really didn't use the TurboWash like nearly as much as I expected it to. And there was no spray rinse during that very, very short intermediate spin. I don't know what that's all about. The washer door, I'm just feeling around right now, is running about as hot as the dryers did. The top of the machine is warm too from all of the heat. So I imagine it's not the best thing for this machine to be running this cycle constantly. Well, there we have the atomizing sprayer. Now we'll watch this, see if it fills up with the same amount of water as it did before there, because that was just crazy. But now we're like really going hardcore with the TurboWash. Usually it does that for the rinse, so good to see that it's doing that here too. I mean, yeah, this thing is filling up fast. Okay, that's kind of cool. How it was like cascading with like the little divot in the towels made it kind of look like a waterfall. Yeah, now it's like, it's really filling up with a lot of water. So that must just be something that this cycle does. But yeah, that fill with the wash water was just absolutely insane. That really is just so much water. Oh, but this is supposed to be a cold rinse. It probably does that amount of water to like help cool it down too. So we're at 22 minutes left, and we're still on the rinse phase. So are we going to be doing like 3 rinses here? Because I maybe 2.5. Because like it's kind of hard to include that first super full water rinse, quote unquote, as a rinse, because it didn't drain any of the wash water. That was rinsing with the wash water. But it filled with rinse water, so I just don't know. Well, it's definitely not going to be like a 20-minute spin like the other, like a heavy duty. It looks like it's trying to do a intermediate spin here. No spray rinse? Come on, what's up with that? There it is. Alright, a 12-minute final spin after 2 very, very thorough rinses. So, I mean, I'm happy with that. If we just have a spray rinse to kind of top it all off, that'll be pretty good. Again, I'm really confused about like that first, like super deep rinse. Like, that seemed like an abnormal amount of water for that thing to be filling with. So I wonder if it was supposed to stop, but it didn't for some reason. And then like when I paused it and resumed it, like it stopped filling once I paused it, but then once I resumed it, it realized that like, oh, I got plenty of water, so it didn't bother to refill. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to be cautious when running the sanitary cycle again. Good thing it's not a cycle that we really ever use. I don't remember why I used it the first time, and this is the only reason really I'm washing it for this, or I'm using it for this cycle, is because of the requests. But yeah, see what happens here. There was a lot of TurboWash used for the rinse, which is great, especially since there was like barely any of it used in the wash, like I was saying earlier. So it kind of made up for it there. Now it's like really struggling to balance though. So see how long it takes for it to figure all that out. We have 10 minutes remaining on the cycle. We entered the final spin with 12, according to the timer anyway, on the machine. Looks like a good balance. There you go. There we go. There's a spray rinse. Cherry on top of the sundae. Alright, let's see if it's going to do those ending tumbles now. There we go. I don't really think it's going to do much at this point, but better than nothing at all. Really, only one? Okay, now we're gonna do two. Oh, come on, that doesn't even really count. Well, guys, there you have it. The sanitary cycle on an LG TurboWash front load washer. That was very repetitive. I'm glad I decided to end up speeding it up. And with that crazy rinse, yeah, that was pretty wild. But very entertaining towards the end. So hope you all enjoyed watching this video. Thank you very much for sticking around. And remember, stay cool, everybody.